Y'all, we in a whole new space today. We're actually in my photography studio. I wanted to change it up today and just do a little something different. So we're actually going over how to do your budget. In previous videos, I've told you all, write down all of your bills, write out all of your expenses, but now we're gonna actually make use of that. So the first thing you're gonna need though is one of these, just a regular monthly calendar. If you have a planner, that works. If you don't have a planner, you can print this off. If you don't have a printer, you can get you a handy dandy notebook, right? And draw you the boxes old school and write everything out. But you need to see it on a calendar. Another thing is this is just a bill tracker. Down in the description box is like a free, you can go to Google Docs and print it out, but you're gonna write down all of your bills. We're gonna budget all of those things. But budgeting can be overwhelming. I will not lie about that. When I was 22, I thought I knew everything about budgeting, but in reality, I knew little to nothing. A couple of things that I did know back then that I've carried along the way that has really helped me. The first thing that always helps me is paying the bills on the payday. Do not wait until the bill is due. Most people will say, I get paid on the 1st, the bill isn't due until the 9th, so I'm not gonna pay it to the 9th. That's where you get messed up, because if you go spending, if you don't have that spending account and that bill account, baby girl, you're gonna forget that bill is due. So the day you get paid, if you are stay at home, like if you work from home, wake up a little bit earlier, make sure your bills are paid before you spend any money, before you swipe your card, before you send somebody your Cash App, Apple Pay, whatever you're doing, make sure you pay your bills. You know the saying, put your oxygen mask on before you put somebody else's on? This is that. You take care of yourself, your bills, your responsibilities before you go helping everybody else in the world. So that's number one. Another part to paying your bills the day you get paid, if you go into the office, you can either wake up earlier and pay them at home, or if you have a personal computer, you can take that with you, and on your break, you can pay your bills. Honestly, budgeting is the biggest mindset shift that you're going to have to make. Like, you're going to have to tell yourself, because this is going to be very difficult, that you are doing something good. If you train your mind to that budgeting is something good, then you won't want to overspend. You won't blow your budget. You'll figure out a way, no matter what, to make sure what you have left over at the end of your bills is just enough. The second thing that I have, that I started with and have kept doing over the years, is making sure that every single dollar has a place. Whether that is a buffer in my checking account, whether that is personal savings, beauty, anything that I do has a dollar. I don't let money just sit there and I don't know where it's going, because when you don't know where your money is going, it's going to be all over the place, and it's not a good look, trust me. The third thing that has helped me big time is budgeting by paycheck rather than for the month, because of some of how the bills fall. So you see in this calendar, if you just budget for all of March, you're missing certain things, right? But if you get a check in February, we're in March now, but if you get a check in February and you budget that February check for the first part of March, it makes it a lot easier. So comment below and tell me if you budget by paycheck or if you budget monthly. I get paid bi-weekly. Most people get paid bi-weekly. But I know there are some people who still get paid weekly, and there's some people who get paid monthly. If you're in education, you probably get paid monthly. So let me know how that works for you, how you, if you are a budgeter, how does that work for you? What works better? Pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So once you've written down all of your bills, no matter when they're due for the month, you're gonna go and get you a calendar, and you're gonna write in every title of that bill with the amount it is on the due date. And we'll highlight this together. So here you can see I have, this is paycheck 2 for February, but I'm planning out March. This is the amount of the paycheck. This is the next 2 paychecks. I think it's always important to write down your next paycheck, because sometimes the way the dates fall, you may be able to push the bill to a next payday if you're in a deficit with your cash flow. The total of each check, so you'll know how much money comes out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna highlight some stuff. So everything on this check gets highlighted the same color here. So you see that's payday 1. Everything after that gets highlighted the same color. Eventually you'll know what check pays for which particular expense. All right, so all the things that are yellow get paid from that yellow check, and I'm just gonna come down here and highlight that. Now check number 2 is everything after that check. So paycheck 2, you pay what's due at the end of the month and what's at the beginning of the month. So this is everything else before that next payday, right? So when you get paid on this day, you pay all of these bills. Do not wait. You see I have a lot of things on auto draft. Is because those companies require that. But if they were not on auto draft, like my student loans here, they don't have to be on auto draft. So I like to pay those manually. But the check that comes in on the 13th, everything that is this color gets paid on the 13th unless it's an auto draft. But I will go back and check to make sure that the auto draft items were actually taken out. Same thing, everything gets paid on the purple payday. Every expense, I'm out of breath. Whew. Every expense on payday 2 also gets paid on payday 2. So everything that's purple gets paid unless it's auto draft. So Netflix, Prime, my Ring app, everything else will be paid manually on this payday. And same thing, you're gonna highlight that color. All right, so once you've done this and this paycheck has come in, I'm gonna slide this out and you're gonna bring in your bill tracker. Okay, so I will actually have this linked in the description. You can download it. I made it myself years ago. This says monthly, but it's actually every paycheck. So we have the same date here, February 27th, which check it is, the amount, and then every single bill. So if we come back here, this is our purple check, right? So every single bill that is purple gets written out, the due date, the amount, and if you're paying manually, you need to write out, you need to check off if it's paid manually. Now, if it's auto draft like these, only thing I'm gonna do is after these 2 dates roll by, the 4th and the 10th, I'm gonna come back and make sure they're cleared out. Now what I will do is if paycheck comes in on Friday, at least by Tuesday evening, most of the bills should have cleared from over the weekend. So I go into my account and I see what needs to be paid off. I mean, what was actually taken out of my account. So I add all this up and it tells me that the total is $17.28. Not it, you put in your own numbers and you calculate it, and it's $272 left over. Like I said, these are not my numbers, but this is just a good example of how to actually budget these things out. So you know you have $272 for the next 2 weeks. So you're gonna put some money aside for food, fun, whether that is going out to eat with some friends, buying something new for yourself. If you are a lady, you probably have a budget. I look at to see another thing that I like to write at the bottom here, and I don't have it, but you can also write it on this calendar. I like to write what's coming up, whether it's a birthday or some type of celebration, anything that's going on. I like to write that. Any appointments, nail appointment, wax appointments, any of that gets incorporated on this sheet as well. $10 for beauty, that's just because I need my eyebrows done. $60 for gas, $20 in my savings. And people laugh at this all the time, but this is what I call leaving checking. But on all of my notes, it says LIC. So this just leaves that $7 buffer or whatever you have left over, some type of buffer. But depending on what your money looks like, you may have more than this $7, right? So sometimes if you keep leaving an extra $25 or $30 in your checking account for a buffer, that will build up. That way you'll have no surprises when it comes to your budget. So the biggest takeaway from this video, after you've written out all of your numbers on your calendar after you have written out your paycheck on that tracker and you know what's left over, you know how you need to live the next 2 weeks, whether you can eat out for lunch or whether you need to bring your own food, whether you can drive an extra 2 hours for a little day trip, or whether you need to sit in your house for the weekend because you don't have enough gas money to go. But budget and make sure you're good. Try your best not to touch your savings account. Our next video, we're going to talk about savings accounts, so that is going to be amazing. But the biggest takeaway is pay all your bills the day you get paid. If you wait until payday, if you wait until that bill is due, and the day comes, right, and you forgot, I had to go get something done to my car, or forgot I had a hair appointment. Women, we know how we are with our hair and our nails. And so if you don't pay that bill on the day you get paid, I'll be real with you. When I get paid in the morning, I like to pay my bills right then and there. As soon as I wake up and pray, I like to pay all of my bills, and then I can spend. Because if I start spending and don't pay the bills, now you don't know where your money is going. So remember that big time.